All right, guys, it is coming up on 12:10 p.m. Central Time, and I want to welcome you, all of you, to this severe weather breakdown. And as you can see, there is now a brand new tornado watch for a good portion of northwestern Mississippi, southeastern Arkansas, the far northeastern portions of Louisiana, and southern Tennessee. Now, this watch will go until 7 o'clock this evening and will include the greater Memphis area, Oxford, Tupelo, Grenada, Columbus, Starkville, Yazoo City, Greenville, then Monroe, Louisiana, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and of course the El Dorado, Arkansas area. Now, as you can see, there is the potential for a few tornadoes likely, some of which could be on the strong side. There is also the possibility of scattered hail up to lime size possible and scattered damaging straight line winds in excess of 75 miles per hour with this potential of severe weather. So this is a pretty significant situation for a good portion of Mississippi and southern Tennessee. Now, let me also say that the Storm Prediction Center, just like we talked about yesterday, has produced an enhanced risk of severe weather, and this does include the Oxford area, the Tupelo area, areas just north of the Highway 82 corridor, and areas south of the Memphis metro area. And anywhere in here in this orange shaded area, that is going to be the biggest concern of the possibility of tornadoes and a few strong tornadoes. Now, I know that up there in northeastern Mississippi and northwestern Alabama, there is already a couple of showers and thunderstorms. However, it is looking like that will not, I repeat, will not hurt the severe weather chance, unfortunately, a little bit later on today. However, if you are a little bit further off to the south, down here in the Tuscaloosa area, or down here into the southwest Alabama area, or in South Mississippi, the sun is actually out, and that is not good news if you actually see sun on a day like today, because this is going to be a pretty active day no matter where you guys are in the state of Mississippi or in the state of Alabama. So once again, I just wanted to do a quick little video and show you guys where exactly this severe weather is going to be. Now, once again, I am currently trying to share this with as many places as possible on social media, giving you guys just a little bit more time to jump on. So let's go ahead and start now. If you are in the central Mississippi area, the threat has been shifted a little bit further off to the north. If you are along the 20 corridor, which includes Vicksburg, Jackson, or Meridian, Mississippi, or points off to the south, you guys are now in the marginal risk area for isolated severe storms possible, damaging winds upwards of 60. A tornado cannot be ruled out, and hail to quarter sized. Now, if you are a little bit north of the area of Jackson over to Philadelphia, Yazoo City, and Flowood, Mississippi, you guys are in the slight risk for severe storms possible, damaging winds upwards of 60, hail up to quarter sized, and tornadoes are possible. And if you are in the far northern areas north of Cleveland, Mississippi, in the Delta, where you see the yellow shaded area right up there just south of through this evening, you guys are underneath severe storms likely, damaging winds upwards of 70, hail up to quarter sized, and tornadoes are possible. Now, anytime between now and 9 p.m. tonight, you guys can see the potential for severe weather across the southern portions of Mississippi, meaning the central and the southern portions of Mississippi. Now let's go a little bit further off to the north and check on our friends in Oxford, Tupelo, Corinth, Mississippi, South Haven, Mississippi, and Memphis, Tennessee. Strong to severe storms are possible, with the primary threats being damaging winds, localized flooding, and tornadoes. And this is for most of the Mid South, and the greatest chance of that is going to be in the enhanced risk area, which is the orange area here this afternoon into this evening. And your action is closely monitor updates and have multiple ways of receiving warnings. Now, once again, you can see that the primary threat is going to be straight line winds. However, you can see that the tornado threat has been increased into the moderate category, and as well as the potential for flooding is going to be there up in the Memphis metro area. Now, I wanted to also show you this real quick. This is actually the time frame of the most likely time for severe weather. If you are basically west of the Mississippi River, 12 to 3 o'clock today for the potential of damaging winds, flash flooding, tornadoes, and hail. If you are along a corridor from Memphis, Tennessee to Tunica to Clarksdale to Oxford to Holly Springs, Mississippi, 1 to 5 p.m. is your time frame. And then, of course, if you are over here in the Corinth to Tupelo over to Aberdeen, Mississippi, your threat is between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. this evening. So that is the situation that we have ongoing right now across the northern and central Mississippi areas. Now, anytime that you guys have straight line winds, sorry, I had to find that graphic. But anyway, anytime that you have straight line winds can exceed 100 miles per hour and affect a large area. Strong winds can knock over semi trucks, trees, and power lines. When you are underneath a severe thunderstorm warning today because of the volatile atmosphere that we have out there, stay indoors away from windows. Avoid trees, power lines, and objects that could blow around. And if you are driving, slow down and keep two hands on the wheel. This is going to be potentially a very significant threat of damaging straight line winds and a few tornadoes. And especially if you are up here in the tornado watch area right now, or if you are in the orange shaded area across southern Tennessee and, of course, North Mississippi. And this is going to be generally, let me just go ahead and tell you right now, let me make this very, very simple for you guys to understand. Here is the greatest risk, in my opinion, and the Storm Prediction Center's opinion today for the most significant severe weather. It is going to be from a line south of the Memphis, Tennessee area over to Corinth, Mississippi, and all the way down to the Highway 82 corridor. If you are in that corridor, you have the potential of seeing a couple of tornadoes, some of which could be strong and damaging straight line winds. So once again, Tunica to Memphis, over to Corinth, all the way down to the Highway 82 corridor and points in between, that is your threat of seeing severe weather today. And the most intense areas will be in between Oxford, Tupelo, Aberdeen, Columbus, Corinth, Indianola, and Tunica, Mississippi. Also, South Haven and Olive Branch, Mississippi as well. And one more little town that I do need to throw out there, Hernando, Mississippi as well, is under the threat of seeing severe storms later this afternoon and this evening. And once again, if you are in the Oxford, Mississippi area, your severe weather threat is going to be between 1 and 5 p.m. Tunica and Clarksdale, 1 to 5 p.m. as well. And if you were in the Tupelo, Corinth, or Aberdeen, Mississippi areas, 2 until 6 o'clock this afternoon and this evening. And if you're just now joining me, there is a brand new tornado watch that was issued about 20 minutes ago, and this does include a small portion of southeastern Arkansas, northern Louisiana, southern Tennessee, and then pretty much all of North Mississippi, north of the Jackson, Mississippi metro area, all the way up to Memphis. So that is the area of concern right now for the potential of a couple of tornadoes later today and tonight, and scattered wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour are likely, and that can do as much damage, if not more, than a tornado. So that is the situation that we have ongoing right now. And I would also like to say thank you to all of the people that are watching. Just a second. I apologize for the screen going dark there. So there is your brand new tornado watch that basically does include the Memphis metro area, all the way down to just north of the Jackson, Mississippi area, and just off to the southeast of Little Rock, Arkansas, and then of course down here just off to the northeast of the Shreveport, Louisiana area. And I can actually zoom in here and show you a couple of areas that are underneath the tornado watch right now: Starkville, Columbus, Greenville, and then up here towards Oxford, Tupelo, and then the Memphis area and the Corinth, Mississippi area. And then, of course, you can see that the enhanced risk goes all the way to just off to the north of the Highway 82 corridor. And I will actually put the Highway 82 corridor on there for you. And basically, it is this line right here that is coming through the Starkville area and the Columbus, Mississippi area. So that is the Highway 82 corridor, and the enhanced risk actually goes just off to the north of that, maybe 5 or 6 miles. So if you are along the Starkville area, if you are near the area along the Highway 82 corridor, you guys need to prepare for the potential of a couple of strong tornadoes later on this afternoon and this evening, and especially if you are over here basically towards the Oxford and the Tupelo area right now. Now, all of this rain is, unfortunately, it looks like it is not going to be an issue, and it is not going to rob the atmosphere of its energy, which we often do like to see, because then that would lessen the threat of severe weather. However, it does not look like that's going to happen as of right now. And the good news is I'm not seeing any signs of rotation with any of these storms that are out there right now. However, that will be changing within the next few hours, because there is the possibility of a couple of thunderstorms with damaging winds and tornadoes this afternoon, through 7 o'clock for anybody that is in the yellow shaded box, because that is currently where your tornado watch is located right now in relation to Mississippi. And this is how close that the watch comes down to in the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. As you can see, it comes all the way up to Yazoo City and then cuts off right there in Yazoo County, Mississippi. So that is the situation that we have ongoing. As always, I will be here to provide severe weather coverage for you guys in the event that we do get a tornado warning across any portion of Mississippi later today. And of course, I will be watching things as they progress. So make sure you keep it tuned right here for the latest weather information and keep abreast of the latest weather warnings later today and tonight across the Mid-South and, of course, across central Mississippi. I hope you guys have a great rest of your afternoon, and I will see you guys a little bit later on. If you are watching me in the great state of Alabama, please stay tuned because I am about to switch over and talk about the great state of Alabama and what you can expect over there in the Alabama area. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. This is Stephen Ray, and I wanted to do a quick little video and let you guys know that what the current situation is ongoing right now. Now, I do know that we are talking about the great state of Alabama. However, I did want to also let you know that if you have any friends or family across the great state of Mississippi in any of these areas, such as Yazoo City, Columbus, Starkville, Greenville, Clarksdale, Oxford, Mississippi, Tupelo, Grenada, Corinth, Mississippi, or the Memphis metro area, those guys are underneath a tornado watch until 7 o'clock tonight. And those, of course, will be pushing, unfortunately, here over into Alabama a little bit later on this afternoon and this evening. So once again, the Storm Prediction Center has placed a good portion of, just a second. There we go. The Storm Prediction Center has placed a good portion of North Alabama underneath an enhanced risk of severe weather. And as you can see right there, basically from the cities of Gadsden, Anniston, Gardendale, Coleman, Jasper, and Fayette, and points off to the north, you guys are underneath a significant threat of severe weather later on this afternoon and this evening, and especially if you were in the Huntsville metro area, Florence, Tuscumbia, or the Killen area as well, because these are where the areas of best dynamics are going to be later on this afternoon and this evening. Now let's start up here in the north where we have the enhanced risk, and this does include Florence, Russellville, Decatur, Athens, Huntsville, Hartselle, Coleman, Gunnersville, Scottsboro, and Rainsville, and anywhere in between. And let me also mention Red Bay is underneath this area of concern as well. Now, the timing of the storms are going to be late this afternoon through late tonight. And all of northern Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee are in this risk as well. Damaging straight line winds, heavy rainfall and flooding, tornadoes are possible, and the outside risk of seeing some hail. So that is what we can expect up here as far as weather wise up here into the North Alabama area. Now, here is the timing from the National Weather Service out of Huntsville. If you are basically Florence, Russellville, let's see, I would say Decatur, the tri cities area, Tuscumbia, Florence, and Muscle Shoals. If you are in Phil Campbell, if you are in Red Bay, you guys can expect to see this between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. is your threat of seeing severe weather. Now, if you were in Coleman County or Coleman, Dodge City, if you are in Holly Pond, if you are in Decatur, if you are in Madison, if you are in Huntsville, if you are in Athens, Alabama, if you are in Albertville, Alabama, or if you are in Ardmore, Alabama, your threat is going to be between 4 and 8 p.m. And if you are in the far northeastern portions of Alabama, Stevenson, Fort Payne, Boaz, or if you are in the areas up there in northern Cherokee County, your threat is going to be between 6 and 10 p.m. this evening for the potential of damaging straight line winds, very heavy rainfall with flooding possible, a few tornadoes, and hail, the outside risk of seeing that. Now, for the rest of Alabama, basically along and south of the I 22 corridor, you guys are underneath a slight risk, which means that there is the potential for a couple of tornadoes possible and the threat of a damaging straight line winds, and flooding is also a very, very big concern. However, if you were literally from Montgomery and points off towards the south and to the east, you guys are going to see your severe weather potential later on in the pre-dawn hours in the morning. So this is going to be a long duration event. Now, I do want you to not pay attention to the left side of this graphic. What I want you to pay attention to is the timing for central Alabama. Basically, if you are in an area close to Fayette, Jasper, Cordova, Carbon Hill, Hamilton, Winfield, Guin, or places around those areas, your shot of seeing severe weather is 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. tonight, and that is for the corridor across northwestern Alabama. Now, if you are along the 2059 corridor or along the Highway 82 corridor or along the Highway 84 corridor, you guys can see your threat between 7 p.m. and 6 a.m. And this goes all the way down to the Auburn and Montgomery area, and south of that area across Troy, Eufaula, and Phoenix City. You guys are not going to see a threat of severe weather with this system this evening, or it'll be into the pre-dawn hours and into the day tomorrow before it gets down there towards you. So that is the situation that we have ongoing now. I want to take you over here that there is the current tornado watch that we have in place right now across the area of Mississippi. But as you can see, there is this orange line. There is your enhanced risk, and it does come down to the Berry area. It comes down and includes Cordova, Dora, Trussville. It also includes the Millport area, or just north of Millport. It slices right through Kennedy, Belk, Fayette, Berry, Oakman, Cordova, Jasper, Dora, Warrior, Kimberly, Trustville, Pell City, and then it crosses right through the Anniston area. Anywhere within this enhanced risk area later on this afternoon and this evening, there is the potential for a couple of strong tornadoes and, of course, the threat of damaging straight line winds. So we will always be here providing severe weather coverage for you in the event that we have tornadoes. And so right now, severe weather issues will start up in Mississippi a little bit later on today, and then push over into northwestern Alabama, and then eventually getting into the central Alabama area a little bit later on this afternoon and this evening. But the good news is I do not see any signs of rotation right now. However, I did want to show you what is going on right here at the Florence Marina, and as you can see, it is still cloudy up there. However, the rain is going to supposed to move out here very soon, and if that's the case, then all of this area will be primed and ready for severe weather later this afternoon and this evening. Now, I will tell you, down here in the southern portions, like down here towards Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Gadsden, and Anniston, we are in the clearing right now. And so that is not good because the sun is coming out and it is warming up the atmosphere. And any time that you have these volatile ingredients and you add the heat of the sun coming in with direct sunlight and no clouds, that issues a disaster waiting to happen in the terms of tornado potential and severe weather potential as well. So that is the situation that we have ongoing. Like I said, the storms will fire in Mississippi and then move into northwestern and the northern portions of Alabama a little bit later on this afternoon and this evening. So that is the situation that we have ongoing right now. We will continue to keep you abreast of the latest weather information, and so pay close attention to the areas right here where I have told you. And guys, we will continue to provide severe weather updates for you guys with the latest weather information. So stay tuned right here. I'm going to sign off for just a little while, and I will be back here momentarily as soon as we get the first warning to be issued. I will be back here later this afternoon and this evening. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And as always, God bless, and keep it tuned right here for the latest weather information on social